Hey, we are crawling on all fours, and today we're highlighting my favorite rock crawling lines and routes. Top of the morning is our first route of the day as we start the hike along Pigeon Hill Trail, a technical stretch of terrain located on the backside of the mountain. This route isn't very technical itself, but it does require a steady throttle and good traction. I'm using General Grabber RTR tires, so while the compound isn't super soft, many will agree that they do perform rather well for a stock tire. I think this is a great start as I upgrade and improve parts down the road. Number 2 on my list is Avalanche. The name was inspired by the dirt and soil that is collected between those two rocks, making it look like an avalanche. Like the first route, it's a short climb, but it can be deceiving. There is a subtle ridge highlighted by this line, and in order to complete it, I need to stay to the right.
Stay to the right!
If my left tire crosses that line, the truck will slip and I'll lose traction and there's just no way up. Here's another shot from the top. Again, the goal is to stay to the right, depending on the camera's perspective, of course. I'm trying this again, and you'll notice that the truck shifts to its left too much and I lose grip. Another attempt and the truck's weight will pull it back after it's gone too far to the left. Right about here. Now you'll notice on my final attempt that I'm keeping to the small boulder on the far right, and that's the best entry into this route to maximize my chances at completing this climb. Next up are the steps. This is a little switchback challenge consisting of mixed rocks, soil, and an exposed tree root. The objective here is to keep both of my left tires behind these two rocks here. The rocks are protruding from the ground, so they give my tires something to bite as I progress through the side hill route. Soil along the route will limit my grip, so if my left tire sinks below the first small rock, I'm toast. These General Grabber tires are not vented, so while they perform great on a side hill with little brake, there's not much air down squish to pick up much needed grip as it climbs. I had to back out of that one because I kept drifting and losing my traction. My other attempts start too far to the left, from the opposite perspective, of course, so it's a lost cause every time. As long as I come in close from the left of the screen, I can maintain a good weight balance as it begins to ascend over the side hill. My right tire needs to bite this small rock in order to pull myself over, but when I do, I end up teetering on the skid. So I add some quick throttle and pull myself off. This last part is just a fun little exit gate to complete the climb. Between Two Stones has made a cameo on a couple of my earlier videos. This is a relatively simple climb that most crawlers should be able to hit, so I was able to complete it on the first pass with no problems. The trick is to approach from the left and then turn back in from the right. You don't want to take this too fast, so it's a good test for grip and wheel speed. Kennesaw Mountain is known for its plethora of exposed granite rock faces, offering tons of terrain for hikers and crawlers galore. Just a short distance away is Fraggle Rock, my favorite little obstacle on this trail that I've crawled many times. This approach is only a few inches off the ground, and I need to keep my right tires along this small ridge. It's kind of like walking on a balance beam only 6 inches off the ground. As I progress, I'll simply make my way up this face here, and then I'm done. This shot is a better perspective to show that it's easy to lose grip and slide as I keep my approach tight into the side hill. You can see some loose gravel on my path, so that's where I slide. But these tires did a great job at maintaining grip, and I recovered pretty easily. You always have give and take with anything you do to your crawler. Running my tires unvented gives me good side hilling performance because it keeps the sidewalls relatively taut. However, the contact patches are firm, so I lose conformability onto whatever surface I'm climbing over. This last attempt was free from errors. No slipping, no rolling, just a clean pass. I kept my throttle low, and I was very pleased with the results. Rock and Hala is a tough climb. It might not look that steep, but it's a pretty challenging incline because it has spots where the incline pushes your truck out enough to shift the weight and cause it to fall back. Now this is a heavier truck, so I was keeping close to the face, but I've tried this multiple times with other trucks and I just can't make it over. Because of the weight of this truck and since the tires are limited to all-around performance such as trails and moderate crawling, I just can't get enough grip to make my way up. Rock and Hala tapers down to the left to a spot I call crevasse, which is just a large crack. In this first approach, I come in from the center, but I'm not able to keep my tires planted, so my weight shifts and I risk rolling back. My second attempt comes in from the right, which helps me maintain grip on all four tires, using the sidewall lugs to bite, pull, and drive the rig forward. Same thing on my last attempt. I started from the right while keeping a slight rotational roll to the left, and this increased friction and grip as I kept climbing. Another 20 yards brings us to Coffee Shop. I had no rhyme or reason to some of these names, I just thought it was catchy. I want to keep the truck to the right of the yellow line while braking over the small bump on the top to complete the obstacle. If I cross that yellow line at any point, the truck can still cheat and make it over and through the easier pass, but the point is to stay to the right in order to make it up the steeper incline.
Stay to the right!
One of the things you'll notice about most of these climbs is that they're all relatively short up and overs. However, they involve very specific moves and positions in order to progress, testing multiple factors such as the weight of the rig, tire grip, motor speed, and overall driver skill. I can't make the pass in these other attempts, which means the margin for error is relatively high, so I need to keep a keen eye on where I position the truck. I got a good start, good momentum, and a little bit of a bump. And I'm up and over. The nice thing about these routes is that they're all relatively close in succession. You don't have to walk very far to the next one. This here is a 90-degree left turn only, involving a slow approach onto a small ledge. What I'm going to do is position myself close to the rock on the left and then pivot onto the rock using my left rock slider. Now this move only really works if you have sliders. You'll notice that I'm slowly pivoting as I'm turning, and then I'm able to pull myself over. The trench is a trench. Nothing too fancy, but I thought it was a really cool spot to test side lugs on tires. The entrance starts wide and then tapers to a narrow exit, requiring you to wedge your tires for maximum grip. Too much steering input in either direction will cause the truck to roll, and you'll end up with a lot of scratches on your body and possibly some broken parts or accessories. I really like this shot because you can just hear the motor hard at work. It almost sounds like a husky exhaust. Keep the truck straight with little movement on your steering and you'll make it through without any issues. Nice and easy. The final route in this video is called Whale's Back, which is a large boulder around 36 inches tall. The route starts from the right and climbs up the Whale's Back onto a small plateau. It's a one-way route, so you don't continue onto the trail. Like some of the other obstacles, this climb relies on careful attention to the truck's position as it starts along the right edge, maintaining an easy throttle to ensure grip all the way up to the top. Here's another shot from the backside. Again, just keeping a nice even throttle. I'm going a little too fast on this run, so I was losing a little bit of grip. Had to reposition myself. And and I lost it. Thanks so much for watching. Give us a like, share with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, keep crawling.